Welcome, everybody. Today we are going to sit with Mooji. So, thank you for joining me. Let's get started.
Okay. So, namaste. Welcome everyone to Satsang this morning here in Monte, Sahaja. Thank you very much. Big welcome. Thank you. Everybody from Lisbon made it back quite smoothly. Okay. Okay, let's start with you.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank
Firstly, I would like to really thank you to your grace and all your Sahaja team. And they just welcome us as if we are part of the team, and it was really amazing. So I would like to this way to thank everyone.
Thank you.
And I forgot what I wanted to say. um, well, I'm here really shortly, and I would like to just finish it now because I feel the sense of no time.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if you could look with me, because I've been looking inside and turning the eyes around, and it,
When you say, I want to finish it, I want to finish it, I need to hear clearly what you mean, because it's a very common statement
Mhm.
people make. I'm really here to finish all this. They say like that. They say, yes, it's got to end today,
well,
or yeah.
I would
So
like to be established in my heart and
yes,
fully dissolve into nothingness,
yes,
just be free of
yeah.
thoughts.
That will take it will take some time to be established in the heart, but it may the recognition of your true place could happen in an instant. The recognition beyond a mental conviction or a intellectual conviction, the recognition of your true place, because that is fundamental to uh, what we call awakening, means to reach the doubtless place, the thought-free place. That can take an instant mm, to recognize, but to stabilize in this. Why should that take time? Is because the momentum of all our past habits, the reflex to be caught by the mind seduction. You see, you will keep finding, oh, again, I'm back in the shape of the person. Oh, oh no, I failed. And say, no, no, no. That will happen for a while. When I gave the example of the fan is spinning, and if you turn it off, the blades will still keep spinning, but the power is cut.
Yeah,
You understand? So what is the blade spinning? Means for a while it will still feel like there's why the mind keep coming and so on. But gradually you keep remembering, and you're remembering where you are, what your true place is, and the being who you are in your true place. They are one. They become increasingly one. And this is the slowing down of the fan. Then eventually it stops. No?
yeah, I'm finding that your words, and when I'm not present in satsang, that they like a Zen stick,
Mm,
but at the same time, sometimes it can be in a way that they give me shortcut in terms of you know, this is
Yeah.
only observed, and sort of I don't go into that um, the whole experience, the whole feeling, and it just cuts through, but not in a
Mm-hmm.
good way. So I would like
What do
to.
you mean, not in a good way? If
No, I
it
mean,
cuts through.
almost like I want to lose that knowledge of knowing that it is all observed. I just want to witness that. I would just want to know that,
Yeah.
experience that
So
all the time.
again, that's why I took time to explain again how it is, so that everyone can understand. Because there is a misconception that, bing, you're finished. And in some cases, it can happen that it's so striking that the mind never recovers. The ego mind, you get such a pow, he never makes it back. Actually, he died right there and then. But it is rare, because the tendency is that it will come up again a little bit, and then what happens what happens is that when it returns, so to speak, we find that without even effort, something gets pulled back into the shape of the whole person. But it doesn't mean it's a failure. This is what I want to tell you. It will happen for a little bit, but you will catch it more quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And each time you catch that, because now you have the power of your seeing, each time you recover and remember, oh, but I'm not this. It's like you have been hypnotized, you're under a spell for a little bit, and suddenly it's like, whoa, what's that? I'm not that. And you keep on catching him. And the duration of your distractedness will get lesser and lesser as your attention gets more accustomed to being in the heart, in your own right place. So this is what I say will take time. When I say it takes time to really discover the timeless. You see, this is what I mean. If you don't have that recognition, that understanding, what may happen is you keep thinking, I'm never going to get this, because something lapses back into, like a reflex. You find yourself again negotiating with the mind and behaving like a person and this type of, and it's understandable for me.
Mm-hmm.
But gradually it's pointed out. Something helps you. You can call it grace. You can call it the grace of your earnestness. Keeps kind of, whoa, okay, you can dismount. You find yourself galloping on the horse and you can just dismount. You cut it. And there's a joy in cutting it and being aware, but whoa, that's cut. And not pride, joy, relief, recognition. You see. And you thank that. You say, thank you that this grace is alive and operating, because he was carrying me off again into the bush.
Yeah.
And I caught him, you know. I'm not a forest dweller. Stay into the open terrain of your seeing. So it is worth to say it. Because if you don't understand this, then the mind itself may come to say, haha, and it will enter through the one you take yourself to be fighting the mind will come in there also. And it'll go, gosh, it's not working, is it? Is it? We have to get cured. What is the cure, is it? Of listening and being deceived by our own mind projections, you see. You wake up to it. Suppose you've been living with what they call this, the one who can't help lying. Suppose you have a friend can't help lying. What they call this, pathological lie? Pathological lie. Does it exist? Yeah. I tell you, we are all pathological liars until we wake up. It's just some are really good at it, and some, but most think I'm not it. They're in deeper trouble actually. When you wake up, you see at some point you see Why liars? Not that you intend, but by the very nature that we identify as ego, as the person, the person, you were in the wrong position. So what we speak is not quite correct. When you're in the right place, you probably speak a lot less, and what you say has a power. And this, not a power to deceive, because you may say that a good person's words, they uplift and encourage. A bad person, meaning someone who's very deluded, their words depress you and make you feel heavy and just very sad. And a liberated person's words, they liberate you. That's why Jesus says, by their a good tree doesn't bring bad fruits, nor can a bad tree make good fruits. And by their fruits you will know them. You see, when somebody speaks to you, sometimes in this world you think you take it like it is true, but you forget that they're only showing you what is in their mind, not is what's in life. We show you our subjective opinions about things. They're actually showing you where they're at. If they spend their time criticizing, they're not speaking the truth. They're speaking what's in their mind. The one who is in truth will not do that. When they speak, you feel uplifted. You feel, oh, I want to be better. The one who is wise and free, when they speak, they take your ego away. These positions exist in us potentially. Sometimes we are hanging around one state for quite a long time. It's not your ultimate state. But when you are set free by understanding, you reach your ultimate state. You become you again in the truest way. So you ask now today, I want to be established in myself. I hear this. I want to be established. And then today I felt again say what it means. What you mean by those words. I want to be, established in my word, in myself. But there's a feeling it has to be now, like it's finished. You see? Well, that depends upon the strength of your realization. If it's seen with such dazzling clarity, such sparkling clarity, that there is no way that the mind can recover. The psychological mind, the ego mind cannot recover after such a tremendous insight, or that is partial recover. The mind is in hospital for a week or two. And then he surfaces at your door one day. Hello. So, oh no, you again? Yeah. You and me. You see? Which is, yes.
I think I actually wanted to really utilize the time here. That was my point to fall completely into the heart.
You don't think when I'm speaking now you're going to utilize what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I have no wasted words about this. Even if I tell a joke, it's not a wasted word. Okay. At your speed, let's go.
Okay. Well, if I turn the eyes around and look inside, I usually see nothing, but at the same time, it's distracted by thoughts and then judgment.
What do you intend to see? When you turn your eyes from going outwardly towards the world, you turn it around, you turn inwardly, what do you expect to see? You want to do today, I tell you the answer today. Can you grasp it now? I'll tell you now and see if you can grasp it now. You see, you are saying, I look inside and searching inside. I will tell you, the true place is that your very searching inside is watched. Your very searching inside, looking for something, is watched from the very something you are, if you care to know it. But few beings in this world will hear this. Why? Because you're so convinced of who you are as the seeker. You are insisting on finding. But I am already here. I'm already the one you are. Who even am aware of this one who is searching. And so what are you looking to find? What will you see? You say nothing. But this nothing you will not be satisfied with, because you keep the virility of your conviction as a seeker. And I will not give up until I find. But I who see you, what do I have to give up?
So how do I give up the seeker?
Find what the seeker is searching for. That's a little bit slower than where I am. You see, even the voice that is saying, but how do I find, how do I give up the seeker, you say? How do I, what did you say? How did you?
How do I?
Yes. Even the one who will do it must itself be given up. You want direct?
Yes.
I am Mr. Direct at the moment, I'm telling you. You said you don't have any time, then this is what I will tell you. Can you hold me? You see. Now, even saying this, if you see, because some people have, when I say this, over in different parts of the world, I say, if I manage to say it, because I cannot say this, I cannot just, today I'm going to tell them this. I never am like this. Today I will speak what God wants to tell you. That I don't know until I sit down and you speak something God blues.
And I pray for that.
You see? But will you hear it? Yes. If it is spoken, it means someone here must hear it. Otherwise, it's wasted words. Maybe not somebody here. Maybe someone on the other side of that lens recording this talk will hear it. Maybe someone there. In the same way, in the time of Jesus, in the 12 disciples and all these people, who was his greatest disciple? We don't know. Maybe his greatest disciple is yet to be born. I don't know. Maybe there's no way of knowing that. The one who, when he says, you must drink my blood and eat my flesh, he's not saying you must be a cannibal. But he means you must consume everything. I am here with you. You must become that in yourself. We are one, we are the same. But you must not throw out what I'm speaking. You must use it. And you'll be more than satisfied. You'll be free. Free is more than satisfied. You see? And so when I say like this, you say you want ultimate thing. I say, okay, I speak to you from from this place. Then you even ask from a not ultimate place. You say, how can I give this up? It's still very good. Because at some stage, all these places we speak from are stages within the evolution of consciousness. And the evolution is going where? Back to the source, which is what? It's empty of even what it has evolved beyond. Every step you take to reach this room, when you reach the room, the steps are not in it. You see? They were just there to help you to wake up. You're drowning in the ocean, and suddenly a wave comes, lifts you up, and all the way to the shore. and leaves you on the shore. And you recover. You turn around to thank the wave. Oh, which one are you? Which wave are you? The ocean has done it. The ocean did it, not just the wave. The grace of God did it. So when you say, how can I go beyond the seeker? You see, actually, truly, you are beyond the seeker. But I may tell you these words too early for some people, because your mind might be very clever and just imagine, haha, he told me I'm beyond. And this is why this dynamic existence is here to test your claim, to test if what you believe in your mind, if it is true. The cake looks nice on paper. Let's see how it is in the mouth. That is what this life is for. What you say you understand, the life will put it to the test. And if you have really grasped it, you see, it will be there with you. But if you have not really grasped it, if it's only in the mind, then when the time of pressure comes for you, it will collapse. It will not be there with you. You'll be like the friend who's saying, I'm with you, I'm with you, I'm with you. I'm with you all the time. And when you get into a fight, he takes off and leaves you there. If your understanding is not with you as one, it will depart in the time of test. How do I proceed beyond the seeker? You see, what I said to you now, I'll explain to make it perhaps a bit easier. Then you must find out, wait a second, the seeker and what the seeker is seeking, are they both perceivable? This is my question. Don't just speak reaction only. The speaker, the seeker, the one who is seeking, you are aware of it, isn't it?
Yes.
The seeker is a feeling you have right now, maybe very strong.
Yes.
Maybe in a few hours, the seeker feeling is not strong at all. Maybe the seeker is sitting on a tree having an ice cream, not seeking right now. So that seeker, if it's a feeling or an intention, it is not consistent. It may have, I'm seeking, but it's not the right time. But the self is always the right one. So the seeker cannot be an ultimate reality. It is a stage, and it is thought-based. So when you're feeling, you come to satsang and your seeker energy is pumped up. Oh yes, I want it now. But maybe in another environment, another kind of energy comes up and the seeker energy is not there at all. Sometimes the seeker energy turns out to be the escaping energy. No, I want to get away from this place, man. I got to get away from this place. Is it consistent? And the seeker also. If you really are a seeker, then at any stage you are going to be a seeker. You're ready to go to bed, and someone say, have you reached the self? No. No. Okay. You ready now? Yeah, of course I am. You're at the altar. Do you take this man to be your Lord inside, And the Lord shows up. Are you ready? So that is not consistent. The seeker itself, although amongst other concepts, it is one of very high concept if you are searching for truth. You understand?
Yes.
So don't think I'm pushing these things down and say, no, I'm just pointing them out. Why am I pointing them out? Because there's a reality in you which is beyond the seeker. And it's beyond the finder also. It just is. When it is found, you feel Nothing else just is. Everything else is a tourist. Everything is passing through. But when you have the strong conviction of being a person, you think you have things which you can keep. Everything that you perceive or know, you know through the mind or the senses, and they're all clouds passing, some slower than others. That's the nature of things. We should not be hurt about this because you've lived with this all your life. And it's not bad. At one point, you're going to be so happy that things pass. It's only we feel unhappy for the things that we're attached to, the things we're addicted to sometimes, that they should not pass. They pass, everything's passing. It's the health of the dynamic life that things come and go. The fact that they come and go is indicating something else of that which does not come and go. Therefore, it is able to witness all things coming and going. What is that that doesn't come and go? And who will know it? It knows itself. So if you want to say, I say to you now, that I'm not sending you on another stage in the journey and in another stage. You go there, when you get there, you ask somebody else how to go to the other place, then you go to this place, and then you get there, you ask how to reach to this place, somebody tell you this. No, I'm going to speak to you from this place itself. The place you say you're trying to reach. How amazing is the mind? The place you're trying to reach. Why? Because you naturally feel you're separated from. And you who are separate from it, actually, why are you separate from it? Because of the impurities in the mind, because of believing them and taking yourself to be that. When you believe you are that, you become that experientially. Are my words too complicated?
No.
Good. All I'm asking you, you follow. If you follow, you can make use. You can see. You see. What are these eyes for? To see things other than the eyes. What are these eyes for? To see things other than the eyes. What is the power of perception for? To see things and to perceive things which are other than the perceiver. Can the perceiver perceive itself? Dualistically, phenomenally. Can you recognize yourself as other? If you imagine that some divine being appears in your room, my love, you're in shock. Yes. I am among the highest beings in the universe. I'm from the heavenly realm. And I see that you are searching to find yourself. And I have heard your prayer. I've come to reveal yourself. Supposing this being said, are you ready? And you say, yes, yes, I am. And yourself appeared, of course, in form. The most luminous being with sort of like glowing wings of shimmering light. The most beautiful, hovering above the earth, blessing you. And you say, oh my God, I'm so beautiful. Oh my God, you look so beautiful. Oh, so wonderful. Would it not be at some point you say, but it can't be me though? Because I'm the one looking at it, no? Would it not? Am I gone too far to say like this?
Yes.
You'll be saying, but It's so wonderful. I mean, it's a beautiful, I mean, like it's a very flattering self-portrait, you know, it's a very flattering portrait, but it can't be me because I am here to see it. How it can be me? I mean, do you mean me in the future? You mean like in the future? Is this me when I get to heaven? I just want to know, who am I right now? Is it different from the one who will go to heaven? Or? So it cannot be a form. Yourself is not a beautiful form. If it is, who is going to recognize it? Your mom, maybe? Your cousin? But not you, not in this relationship of I am looking at it and saying, this is me. So what you're searching for cannot be the form you think you are. If it is not a form, how will you recognize it? If it's not a form, does it have any features? Like if I see you and I see you, I know this is you. You have distinguishing features. Does yourself have distinguishing features? Like you, just a million times more beautiful? No pimples, nothing. No dandruff, everything. Can it be like this? So obviously it cannot be a form. It is not a form. If it is a form, who is going to appreciate the form? So what is it that we are searching for then? Didn't you find that as you listened, and I say, if you're searching for yourself with your mind, you will not find it. Your mind will introduce lots of different things, which you're going to have to one by one say, no, it's not that. It's not that. The ancient rishis of olden times, in India, one of the ways that they were practicing in their introspections is, you may have heard the term neti neti. I'm not this. It's not this. It's not this. They could always say what they're not. They could not show what they are. No, it's not that. Suddenly beautiful, yeah, not that. Whatever I can see, whatever I can perceive, I cannot be that. Then the question came, can that which is perceiving be perceived? Can that which is seeing everything else, can this be seen? And by who? You see, about this time, sometimes you start to feel a bit depressed. You're like, oh, I'm never going to find it. But you know who is having this depression? Who is suggesting this? Your mind. Because it's been trying to sell you a self-image for a very long time. You are not the image. You may be functioning inside the image, but you are not an image. All the movements are happening, but the non-moving is in the heart of it. Everything is changing, but the unchanging is in the heart of it. How can this unchanging be recognized? Well, the question wouldn't even arise when the discovery is made, which I assume is what you're here to find. And if I find myself, what happens to I, the finder of myself? Do I become the keeper of myself? Then all these questions, all these quests, they dissolve, no longer needed. What remains? That which is, timelessly, throughout all the histories of all the species, this one has remained untouched. Now, why is it that I'm insisting and pushing always to that discovery? And some people say, but if I go, there's nothing to do. If I go, there's nothing to do. Who wants to go to a place nothing to do? Well, you won't be a somebody there having nothing to do. And even without the somebody not being there with nothing to do, the activities of life continue. What a mystery. And this shows that the activity, the natural activity of the universe, is not the product of the ego mind. And it's not waiting for the ego mind to stop to start saying, okay, the ego's off the stage, now listen to God play. No, it's here all the time, actually. When you wake up, you realize that outwardly things don't really change in a kind of way, and yet they're all transformed inside me in the way that I see. Because I used to see them with judgment, I used to see them with all kind of measurements, and now I see them in my oneness. But a tree still looks like a tree. A yucca and an orange tree are both trees, but they still have their distinguishing features. That doesn't need to go. That has not been an offense. That doesn't mean that, the self is not one because orange tree looks different from yucca tree. No, the oneness is not the oneness necessarily in shape, but the oneness in being. You see, it is just like that. It's not a oneness in shape. We all can continue being varied and different in expression, but we are one in essence. This is what you're discovering. And this essence can still wear a unique form. Suppose you like pasta but not rice, and you wake up. You think you're going to suddenly like rice? Because you are the one? No, you may, in your dynamic portrait, you still like what you like. And somebody goes, oh, but you're not universal because you like things and you have choice. You see, this is foolishness, you see. You can still have your unique, you will still recognize your family in your dynamic world, and you still have a relationship, actually a much improved relationship. Always from your side, sometimes not always from their side initially, but as they come to see actually beyond projection and misconceptions, to see you as you have become and what you have discovered, they will begin to recognize the beauty you are. If they can recognize the beauty you are, it's because they are recognizing the beauty they are. Automatically, it happened like that. It's not about becoming a clan. It's not about becoming a particular religious, we all behave like the same. That's not what sameness means. And it's not even have to be sameness, it's oneness. And the oneness allows that every petal on this flower is unique. When you don't understand that, you're trying to make the machine, everything is the same. This is not understanding. So great is the Lord of the universe. He can make billions of these, like this. We are thinking with the mind how human mind is so clumsy, especially when it is restricted by egoic identity. So I'm sharing with you like this, because it's inside what you ask. It's good that we open it up, see what things is good to know, so that when you come to the recognition, it is not that you are in some tight place. It's immeasurable place. How to stabilize here? How to stabilize here? First, you must recognize here. When you recognize here, then you may stabilize here. You must first recognize what it means. Then you can stabilize. You cannot stabilize in something you don't know. Once you recognize, then you say, even though I know now, It's like I know, but somehow I'm still surviving as the one who knows. This is very subtle. Stay with me. I know, but I'm still holding on to the one who knows. So I'm not yet that which I know. I'm just the knower of that. It's subtle or not. You see, and then because I'm still the knower, I could become the non-knower again. If the mind comes again and I find myself in the person, then I find myself in the position like of trying to get back to where I was. I'm trying to get back to the infinite. Can you help me? Then exactly where are you? Outside of the infinite. I'll send you some GPS to tell you how to get back to the infinite. How you get back to the infinite. What happens is that you went back into the dream of the finite, which exists inside the infinite. Is it too complex what I'm speaking with you? Because we just have to become a little bit more subtle to find the blind spots which keep creating a sense that you are separate and to expose them. Burning Satan's nests.
So when you see, or when I see the knower or the seeker, in that time,
You cannot see the knower, you can see the seeker. If the real knower is the ultimate, even if you want to say, is even the ultimate called a knower even. Please listen, because we are in a higher place to listen. It can even the ultimate be called a knower. Because if it's a knower, then it's something other than itself to know. Higher than knowing is being. What is being? We can say that being is your untaught way, your intuitive knowing that you exist. You don't need someone to tell you you exist. You just know. You didn't go to the I exist school. You automatically know you exist. But as what do you exist? This knower just intuitively knows, but it doesn't have to know something. I mean, the minute you start to know something in a way, then it's like it's different from you. You are the knower of it. You're not it. It's not just words. It's the secret that is not a secret unto itself. It's a secret in the mind of the one who wants to know. But for that which is, it has no secret. It has nothing to expose and nothing to become.
it can't be grasped with mind.
No, it cannot be grasped. The mind can try, it can imagine. But the fact is that even the mind trying is perceived in it. Maybe you see, you've always been the self. You don't realize. You have always been the self, even when you think you're a person. The greatest part of your experience is the self. And what is that? What is it? Is the vastness in you that exists without knowing. It just is. It's what gives you the sense of existence. The rest is just what you learned. And then you believed. And you've developed relationship somehow, because in order to be in this manifest, no, it's like the absolute, which is not somewhere else, somehow creates the sense of a conscious presence that really came as a witness to the world. The enjoyer also is there. But then quickly it identified with the instrument, which it needs to taste experiencing, and say, I am this body. And then whatever conditioning this body environmentally was exposed to becomes the construct of your own idea of yourself. And that became strongly believed in. And is this painful for you to hear? Okay, so it's that instrument, but even though it's delusions and illusions came into it, but the greatest, well, in fact, it's still 100% the self. A funny thing to tell you. So 100% the self is there, but with a dream that makes it believe it's a person. And it will keep on dreaming. But the dream cannot exist, without the reality. The reality is behind it. Your intuitive sense of yourself. If this is why when I asked you in the invitation to leave all the things that you normally associate with the function of a person, leave the thoughts and your identity and your projections about the future and your wants and your attachments, leave them just for a little bit. And you could, and you can, and you did. When you did all of these things, what remained? You cannot speak about it. Did it come from somewhere? No, it was always there. It is there behind the person, always is there. Now I ask you to leave the personal things just aside for a minute. All the personal thing, what was here? What is here? You're even more you. Without the story, without the desire, without the attachment, without the need. You are totally present. Did it come from somewhere? No, it did not come from somewhere. It's just that we wipe the dust off the mirror, that's all. Suppose the mirror was a sentient mirror and it could experience, it knows it's a mirror. And I say, listen, I need to put some vinegar and some paper to wipe. You go, no, I'm going to lose. I'm going to lose something. And I said, but it's only dust. He said, no. Who will I be without my dust? Wow. I feel great. The person is an exaggeration, largely overrated. You imagine, but what would I do about my person, my individuality, and so on? Yes, when that's all wiped, your individuality is still there. Your powers of discernment is still there because consciousness put them there. But now they don't have a bad landlord. Anything less would mean that God is limited. Now you begin to see from the truer place within yourself. Your senses are still present. Your mind and ability, the intelligence is still there. The people you know you will still recognize, but free from your own contamination. It is as simple as this. But mind creates taboos around freedom. They're brainwashing you. Yes. We're washing out your brain. And putting it back in. Okay, how it feels now? Very nice. Huh? Want the old brain back? No, don't want the old brain back. Which is the old brain? A pile of misconceptions, actually. If you shake out all the untrue beliefs, and it's empty, I'm not trying to put back new beliefs, spiritual beliefs. We're not detoxing and then retoxing. What needs to be done then, you see? Even the search, I'm searching to find, it's in what I call the theater of God, which is life of individuality, of perceived individuality, of me and you and this, and high and low, and God and demons, and heaven and hell, and life and death, and friend and foe, and all of these things is there in the dance of existence. Now it is experienced much lighter. Before, when you have a stubborn mind, maybe selfish identity, you want to keep it. Now something becomes more relaxed, not vulnerable, just relaxed, more wise. This is what.
Mooji, I feel that, but at the same time, I feel the natural resistance as well. I think you talk about it, that it's just normal or natural, but
Yeah, for the moment we say the resistance is natural. The resistance is normal for this thing, of course, because something you have believed you were for so long, there's a sense that it's on the way, slipping away, and you feel unsure. Because even if you're in a terrible relationship, when it breaks up, you still feel grief, isn't it? You have never had one. Okay, sorry. All right, I'm talking to the wrong crowd. Even if you're in the poorest marriage, the worst thing, abuse and and when they leave, still you're, we still grieve. So even if somehow it feels, but here it's different because it feels as though, you might be losing some good things with the bad thing. Don't throw out the baby with the bathwater, they say. So something, mine holds on, making sure, just making sure.
it feels for me like I don't know what I'm resisting. I want to go all the way through, but there's a feeling.
You don't know what you're resisting, because actually it could be that there's nothing actually there for you to resist. In the mind is like a reflex, a resistance, like something, and that's enough. You didn't what do you find out what is it that I'm resisting, or what is it that is being resisted here, and slow down with that, because at this stage there are not so many questions left in you. So take time, find out what is it that is being resisted. We have a little time. What is it that's being resisted? Enough for you to present it now, but there's the resistance. Is it just the feeling of resistance is enough to put you off? To say, well, won't go? What are you resisting, you see? Some people have asked, can you take me with you, but could we just not too quickly? Just slowly, just in case we run into trouble and I can escape or something. I know what it is. So sure, I mean, I'm fine. I'm not taking you anywhere.
I think it's the resistance to unknown.
To the unknown.
Yeah.
I got some news for you. You are the unknown. Even if your twin, who you lived every moment with, one day say, yeah, her, you can't tell me anything about, I know everything about her. You will still feel, no, you don't. No one can come to the end of you. You are just attached to the apparent known.
Yeah, something familiar. Everything's.
Yes,
yeah.
you see. It's because you are unknowable why you can enjoy the sense of knowing. If you could know everything possible in the world, it still cannot capture you. That's just in your dynamic aspect, because it's only in the dynamic there's something to learn to know. You can keep going on. You are just miss potential. You can just keep on finding, and you can just keep changing rooms and going up and down and so on. All of that you can keep doing in the vastness of your stillness. Look how many people you have been already, just in this one life. How many personalities, how many things you've tried, how many styles you've done, and they all go, we're still here. What is the continuity? Everything has changed. You know, all these things, these fashions have gone. What has been continuous? Consciousness. This I am kind of vibration is always underlying all your experiences, however varied they are. You, the consciousness, has been underneath all of them. And they've gone. You've never been them, because if you were them, when they went, you would also be gone. You are here to witness, oh yes, this was back in the 60s. You don't want to see this one? Sorry. Let's go forward. I'll show you. 1978. Now that I like that period. But it had to go. Let's go up to the 80s, to the 90s. All of them come and go. And the ones who are to come will also come and go. What is it that doesn't come and go? I am not inventing, I'm just pointing out. It's like you know what you cannot know. Does it feel too mystical what I'm speaking about? Yes, I'm in good company then. So, final words, some question? Say something for me.
I could see when you were talking just then that everything is passing, and yeah, as you mentioned, that nothing is really stable.
Yes.
But I wanted to ask how to remain in just only.
You're speaking now about your attention, not you.
Okay.
You're trying to, in some way, train your attention to stay in your heart. That's all. We have for a long time mislabeled our attention to be what we are. But your attention is a function in what you are. And that's why your attention even, something even is aware of your attention.
Okay.
It can know when your attention is not stable, not steady. When it's restless, something watches restlessness of attention. The intellect of the consciousness, the beingness, the intelligence of being watches that the attention is fluctuating. It knows this. You don't rely on him right now. He's fluctuating. The intelligence of the being. The intelligence of the being is also a function. But it is a much more subtle function than your attention. He can watch attention also. When you know that you are not your attention, that your attention is even witnessable in you, what do you find, you see? There is a silence beyond the concept of silence, a stillness beyond even the concept of stillness. You are here, the unmoving one, but you're not stuck. No one can define it. I don't think any of the great masters could describe it. And there was no need to. Buddha could not speak about it. All the great beings, the Krishnas and the Ramas, they could not put it into words. They could hint at it. Because in what direction could you point? Where is the self? In what direction? To the north? Oh, east maybe? We're sure it's in the east, but not in the west. In what direction would you point? Out, in, where is he? Where is the unlimited? I am using the word unlimited. Maybe you don't feel you can use the word unlimited just yet. Thank you. Urgent. Okay, come. Urgent, will you do it? Emergency? Yeah, come.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guruji.
Hmm.
Namaste. I woke up this morning with the urge of speaking with you, and thank you for that.
Okay.
Because it brought, I saw the arrogance in there. Somehow I saw arrogance in not, and I need to put myself in front of you.
You find arrogance is coming from the expression, from the mind and the sense of person.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yes.
Like one part of the arrogance is like Guruji is giving all the guidance and I can sort it out myself or something like that. Or like, or I can sort it out, or a sense of.
So when you say now, Mooji is giving all the guidance, but I can sort it out myself. The one you're referring to as yourself is what? Slow down and listen now, because when I speak, I feel I'm speaking to everybody. You're holding the microphone, but I'm speaking to everybody with this type of understanding. Why? Because it's not personal. Okay? When I talk about personal, maybe a psychotherapist can help you or something. That's not a put down. But if you are looking for what you say you're looking, which is to discover the truth of who you are, that's a universal knowing. Yes? It's universal living inside the local. This is the local, the sense of the person, where you grew up, you're from Lithuania, you're from France. This is your local, the localized consciousness. But we are here to discover your universal consciousness. Okay? So when you say, yes, I am, you are exposing, thankfully, you're saying, actually, there's an arrogance in me. You even already catch him. An arrogance here in my dynamic being is saying, yes, Mooji sharing these things, you can work this out by yourself. Is it necessarily an arrogance? Why would you call it an arrogance? I mean, it could be, but maybe it's not.
Now I'm not sure, because what it exposes also is the sense of someone here working it out with the sense of sense of a person with independence that can do anything by itself, which is not the case.
Has it done it?
No.
And can it do
and
anything by yourself?
And cannot do it.
Have you ever been able to do everything by yourself? Without this world and without its people, were you ever able to do anything by yourself, starting from baby? Were you ever able to do everything by yourself?
It seems to be a belief, because I know I'm not able to do anything by myself, but it shows up
sometimes we move a little bit and we are subtly have to change rooms for a little bit when I say that, because in a way I can speak about doing something by yourself and when it's appropriate. But in the context of what you're saying, this voice that says, yeah, he's saying something, but you can do this by yourself. And you detected that there's some arrogance playing here. And I say, it could well be. Let's take a look, And you say, well, maybe it's not, because I can make use of this. And I can see that it's exposing something. So
what actually was bringing me to put myself in front of you is to this habit of the mind of being, in the last question you have been talking about that, like the habit of the mind of being assessing. There's some interest that is assessing constantly inside of how is the process, very very heavy.
Because also that, so as I said, none of this would have been possible if the power was not given to the mind to imitate the self, and to given to the pure self to pretend to be a person. When these two things are in place, let the show begin. You follow what I'm speaking? You had to somehow take up the mask of personhood to have particular me experiences and so on like that. And mm, somehow with that, and the mind is now imitating that, yes, to then say, look, we can do like this, or we can do like that. You go, yeah, I can do it my way, and do this, to try that out and to see how far we can get.
It's like he's always in search of something. You were mentioning before.
Yeah.
It's like already in the position of having a problem, which I don't know what was the problem, but it just takes me in the position of there is something to sort out, and then it has to use all the tools.
Are you saying also that there are times when the mind will cooperate with the idea, like we are trying to solve the mystery together,
Yes.
but it's actually just postponing, misdirecting, distracting? True? Yeah, sometimes he's like he's really on the journey. Yeah, we're doing this, we're so close. We're so close. We're so close. Persevere. Close. But you're up the wrong tree.
And Guruji is like inwardly is talking about satsang, or like about the process of how are you doing, and how like assess and evaluating and the progress, and all the time keeping the attention there, and it makes everything very heavy.
So is he really trying to put across what my pointings are? Because sometimes I hear feedback from people. I thought, what? I just send you down to the kitchen. What are you doing in Mexico? Oh, but the mind says if you turn left and you go down, there's really, really good oranges in Mexico, and you take this one, and I just went along with it. When I'm living in London also, sometimes people would write and they say they want to come and visit me at my apartment like this, and it's very easy, and I actually write it down for them. I write it down for them, and they send it, send it to them. And then 1.5 hours later, they're calling me. I said, where are you? Oh, I'm in West Norwood. West Norwood? How do you get to West Norwood? Well, I came to Brixton, as you say. I got off at the station. I went to the bus stop, and a man said, well, what are you looking for? Where are you going? I said, I'm going to Tulsi, up to Upper Tulsi. He said, but this is the wrong bus stop. You need to go to this bus stop, take the number 2 bus, and then you go off, and up there, that's Tulsi. And I took it, and I went there. I said, but I know where I live. I know where. I wrote myself and tell you, why did you not listen? Yes, but I met this person. He was a nice person. And he told me to get, okay. You see? So if you do that just with my directions to come to my house, what are you going to do with my teaching? It's simple enough. I don't want to give you extra work. It's simple enough. So I point out something. It's just this. If you don't watch this and so on, you'll find that you're already here. Even you didn't really travel. You're just somehow looking through this forest of concept. Don't eat any fruit from those trees. Just stay here. Look, don't go. The trees may be calling you or whatever. No. Just stay with your banana. You'll find everything. Then you don't listen. Then you say, but you see, I don't know why it's so difficult. I say, yeah, why is it so difficult? Direction is simple enough. Why you don't do it?
It sounds so simple.
Huh?
It sounds so simple. Like when I hear your words, it sounds simple. In the experience, in the moment, it doesn't.
Are you calling me a liar?
No. No, I'm asking for your help.
Okay. All this is because of the deceiving mind, isn't it? It's as though it will not cooperate with anything that threatens its existence. And yet, you know what? It doesn't really exist. What it mean? What it mean doesn't exist? I don't mean that it doesn't appear, but it's not true. You know, not in that sense. Mind, generally speaking, is fine. We need the mind to is the one who is actually is not the eyes that sees, the mind that sees through the eyes. The mind is amazing. It's wonderful. But when it comes to issues about your identity, it's not going to help you. You have to know who you are beyond the mind. Then you can drive the ship of the mind quite well. But if you go to the mind to ask him, who am I? And please help me to find myself. Then you see what happened in the world. For everything else, it's fine. You need it for perceiving and life and interact and everything. We need our mind. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful power of the self. But when it comes to, who you are and who you take yourself to be, it's not reliable. Everything else is fine. Everything else is fine. It's secondary. So when I say it's not real, I mean whatever your view of the world is only your view of the world. It is not the truth of the world. As I say, there's only one earth, but there are billions of worlds. A world being a psychological state inside you, shaped on your identity, your belief, preferences, desire, all these things shape the way that you perceive the world. This is why if we are standing outside here, five of us standing holding hands on top of the hill, each one may have a very different experience of that time. The scene is still the scene, but your interpretation, your experience will be very unique. And then we are believing that our subjective experience is a fact. That's how things are. No, it is how you are perceiving them to be. Only when you're empty, when you've gone beyond the limitations of egoic identity, when you have gone beyond that, then you can perceive the world in its true light. Not wanting anything from it, and yet at the same time, it's the nourishment for your body and mind, but not depending on it for who you are. When we begin to have fantasies about our lives on this planet, largely is because we are not really in touch enough with ourselves. The planet is beautiful. In spite of all we are doing to it, it's still beautiful. Our minds are not beautiful. When it's lived and when it's harboring only the egoic identity, then our minds are not beautiful. It can become beautiful, but it's not as long as we are strongly identified, ego-centered, the beauty will not pour out of us. And yet, deeper down, you are the source of all things. I just want to put your dynamic identity back into the heart of yourself. Just want to bring your dynamic identity, your self-portrait, back into the source of yourself. That's why when you are discovering, you're not discovering something else. When you discover yourself as it is, you realize that everything else is else. Only this is not else. Only this is not other. Everything else is other, feels like other, at least for a while. Soon, even that will become expressions of yourself. You have got to come to see that all your sense of being, your emotional, your psychological, your mental, intellectual, biological being are observable. There's a knowing in which they exist, but that knowing is beyond the limitations of your phenomenal representation. Is that a complex statement in itself? Meaning, it is like this already, but you're under the impression it's not like this. This is why the realization of the self is so intriguing, because you're going to see when you recognize it's totally familiar to you, even not even before familiar. There's something even more important than familiar. Yourself is not familiar. Yourself is you. It's not other. When you, even as you're waking up, you begin to, where do you get the confidence to keep going deeper and deeper, in spite of the mind trying to fight and stuff? What keeps making you come deeper and deeper? Because as you're coming deeper and deeper, your joy is increasing. Is it a trick? Is it a trap? Your spaciousness is increasing. You're more kind, more soft. Why people come to Monte Sahaja and they are so touched to be here. It's the same trees as anywhere else around this area. It's the same earth, same everything. Why here? Because the Spirit of truth, the Holy Spirit of God, dwells here also. Why? Because he's happy here. Why? Because the beings their attention is turned towards him. Now, some people may feel that, is there a very simple way? I mean, can't we just do something, just faith and just trust and feel? Yes, we can. Also, I'm very much with you there too. You can feel and feel the power and the presence of God and be wonderfully, be in this. But what I'm sharing with you is taking you home. Not home as a person, home beyond person. What you're finding, what you're experiencing, again, is how much complete you are without the things you imagined you need. I have no fault with the world at all. I love it. You see me out there planting trees and stuff. I love them. I love the water, We appreciate all these things. I was saying before, and people ask, how important is water? I said, it's very important. It's very, very important that you don't waste. This land teach you, don't waste. If you waste, you've not understood. You see? If water was money, you wouldn't waste it. Some people would even stop bathing. Okay? Because we value money more than water. But if you had all the money in the world and no water, what would that be like? But if you have all the water in the world and no money, you choose. So we appreciate the nature. We appreciate life. I love to see that the beings are happy and in a true place of happiness, not exaggerated speculative happiness, but the happiness which is synonymous with yourself, not the happiness which comes from an event, just the happiness that just is, and peace. And that we're not just walking around trying to be peace. No, the peace is just there. The joy is there. Oh, we can make trouble too. Everybody knows how to make a little trouble. And sometimes we need a little bit of trouble also, because it helps you to keep striving, to keep your discerning powers alive. Otherwise, you can go to sleep a little.
It's like this mind is a troublemaker in itself. What you were
It's
saying,
good to find out. Huh? That's a troublemaker.
what you were saying about being happy, like I find myself with my family, not all the time, but when I'm with, and I'm not fully like, enjoying them because this sense of there is something to sort out first or
Yes.
something like that. And
Yes.
something says also inside it is observable, but like the whole instruction comes in the same bubble of it is observable, and then it doesn't come deeper.
The mind will support
it
your
knows all-
inquiry if it means keep on inquiring, 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 inquiring. Keep inquiring, inquiring, inquiring. And then keep inquiring, inquiring, inquiring. You'll be like that, inquiring. Oh, Guruji, why is it so hard? What's so hard? Just, can you help me to inquire again? No, 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 no. I'm showing you. Suppose you ask me, Guruji, how can I find some place to rest? I said, sit down here. Yes, but you know what I mean. I really want to really discover it. I said, but you want to sit down, no? Yes, but I want to really have the experience of discovering how to really sit and be very comfortable. Could you help me, Guruji? No, I can't do that. You're going to sit down. Sometimes this is what is happening. And the mind is thinking, oh no, but I've got to do this. And there's a time for everything. There's a time when it's important to go much more deeply and subtly and pursue some thought until it evaporates. And there's a time to just ignore it. Are you practicing your ignoring? Not ignorance, just ignoring. Are you practicing your ignoring? It's nice, it's nice. The mind goes, how about? No. That every single thing you must inquire into, every single thing? No, you don't. In the beginning, when you're first learning inquiry to look into it, then you might experience some kind of paranoid inquiry or something where everything is, who's thirsty? Who's tired? Who's tired? Like this. Then little bit by little bit you find out it works, and they said, no, you don't have to waste time with that.
In the intensive, you read a letter from someone, and I felt very much like your answer was coming for me, that you were saying like that's not the way, that's too complicated. I would take you for a walk and have a cup of tea.
Yes.
And and I took it, that's for myself, like something needs to relax in that also. And
Now.
Please.
Now. Do you always have to do something to relax? No, now. How about now? Let it go. Just let it go. The man is in there holding on. No. Let him go.
If you could remind me in the heart whenever.
I'm doing
Yeah,
now.
yeah, if it happens again.
No, it's happening now. Again, no. No, we don't. You're already invested in your next defeat. No, now, every time now. Is it possible though? You just drop something. Trust me, when it is worth really looking into it, something will help you to say, yeah, we'll look into that. But when you can just drop it, like I say, if I throw you a warm potato, you say, what should I do? You say, put some butter maybe, or should I give it to somebody? If I throw you a very hot potato, I don't think you'll be asking me what I should do with it. You would just, you drop him. You can drop it. If you recognize the place I'm talking from, yes, you will know that no suggestion from your mind can top that. Your mind is trying to tell you how to reach where you already are. And he's got a long queue of people waiting. That's just all. But the thing is, because you imagine that where you are presently is just stuck in the mind anyway, which is somehow a bit true also. Experientially, that is true. But realistically, it's not true. Realistically, you are the self. Experientially, imaginatively, you are being the person you imagine yourself to be. As you think, so you become. A lot of things we believe, you didn't believe them before. You still existed. Then you believe them, and you believe them so much, you believe them into existence, and they became your experience. Now you have to find some contrary thought to believe in to neutralize the already first thought, which both of them are unreal. Many years ago, I say that, when we came here working in the bush, suppose you step on a thorn and it breaks off in your foot and it really hurts. You may take another thorn to pick the first thorn out. And when you take out the first thorn, you throw both of them away. You are using concepts, I'm giving you some concepts to get rid of other concepts. When you got rid of all of them, you can forget all the concepts. It's nice, isn't it? It's possible too. I want that somebody prove me to be true. And then when you prove to be true, and then others may start to feel, well, maybe he is true. Maybe we should take it seriously. Take your mind seriously. And he's a big joke. But he can be a horrible joke also. As long as you are the one that he can speak to, the trouble will continue. The mind will go to some people and not to others. Because whenever he comes to your house, there's a party. He will talk, and he will do this. Another one come on your bike. Hit the road, Jack. Huh? Why are you laughing like this now? Huh? No, which one? Which is true? How can we trust her? 1 minute laughing and crying and...
If I may mention something else, that it has been playing, and just not to dismiss it, but to bring it at your feet. There's like a deep sense of guilt that now and then plays, and now lately it has been playing very strongly.
Can there be guilt without identity? The middle was very good. On this side here. I think the guilt is on the left. Can there be guilt without identity? These actually, my answers actually are very revealing. It shows there cannot be these things without personal identity. Is personal identity inevitable? Meaning that you have no choice. Yes, up to a point, we don't know. So you must make use of the best you can. But when you begin to discover, then you realize that you have options. If you go with the mind and you go with if you don't, when I say that identity is something, is also cloud passing and it changes. And something witnesses the change, and the one that witnessing the change is not the change, it's not that. If you really heard that and really sat with this and really know, how would this guilt live? Will a fire keep going if you stop putting wood on it? You see, it's just a simple example. No? It must be the mind feeds on your insecurity. Mind feeds on trouble. Mind feeds on doubt. Mind feeds on identity and interest and attachment. All this is fuel for this psychological aspect of the mind. So without the identity, personal identity, you cannot have trouble. Things come in life and you will face them, but you face them in the greater space of yourself. When you are perceiving things from the greater and true place of yourself, they are not a problem. You just have to take care of them. The minute it becomes personal, then it becomes a problem. You see? And it can be there, of course, sometimes, even in a wise being, even a liberated being, Sometimes some things may come and they'll be surprised. They feel some trouble, they feel some sorrow, feel some, yeah. But because, underneath, their life is not a compass for trouble, then these things they cannot grow. They appear and they disappear quickly. Everyone, as long as you're a living being, you're going to have a little bit of both. Sometimes a little bit of trouble, sometimes a bit of sickness comes, but sometimes. But as you are established in the self, most of them you don't even notice. Much of the trouble we feel and the intensity of the trouble is because in some way our attention is arrested in it. You're just paying attention to that. When you have found the true place of yourself, attention loves to live there. It is your greatest field of experiencing. Everything else is much less. Your continuous experience is somehow as though you're cocooned in the infinite. So if you're cocooned in the infinite, who are you? Something like this. I just have to keep checking whether the words are abstract for you, whether it's just like we're talking mental things, or they are applicable, meaning that you can apply them in your seeing and they come with a result, meaning that you are less stressed, you're less easy to be afraid, and you're more clear, more comfortable inside your own being. It has to be this. Otherwise, for what reason you're coming out here in the bush today? I don't know. They came all this way. And also, Mind is here also. He'll come as well. You ride on the same ticket. He will come with you. And see if he can do really well here. He gets transformed somehow into higher state of consciousness also. The mind itself, given the proper discipline of your own seeing, he also comes with you, because he can only come now if he transforms into self. He's not allowed to keep doing his bad tricks anymore. He joins you now, become a good servant, maybe even friend if you need friend. I don't know, need friend.
I want to give thanks to the Lord for having you in our lives, for guiding us to the light and to the true nature that we all are, and may this life be always in service for this discovery and us
May
to
it always
persevere.
be radiating and reflecting this inner discovery. Yes. It happened like that. Thank you. Very good. Thank you, Donnie. Thank you. Very good. Very good. Wonderful. Good. Thank you. Can I see you? I don't want me to come back to you. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you, Rani.
So earlier when you were speaking about can you be perceived as other? I didn't know I was going to come up. It just something inside me just
I trust that. That's
had
good.
to speak with you. So I know I can't see myself as other, but something, how can I put this? Something is, I can see my existence, the I am. And so something saying, so this is other. So what I am is seeing something as other still, the I am as other. Does that make sense?
Yes, it's making sense.
Because
Yeah.
it's almost like the the I is disappearing, but it's becoming more visible. But I don't know if we need to
It's
go,
becoming more visible as?
not as a thing, just it's becoming, I want to say known, but it's like in my vastness.
Yes.
This-
So therefore, listen now, this is very good. Because I say whatever you can perceive somehow, it becomes phenomenal to a deeper witness, a deeper seeing. Did it make sense to you? Then I said, even we gave the example about the two birds in the tree. Remember? I think everyone in here, I've heard this. And the first bird represents the dynamic life of personhood and our culture, traditions, our family culture, our personal culture, what we want to do in life as a person, what we want to achieve, go to university, have a good job, have a family, all these things, and general thing around the world. No? The first bird in the tree is doing this, having a family, taking care of family, looking, investing in future and all these type of things. And so a nice photo album of the past, all these things. And I say on a branch just above that sits another bird, but this bird is not building anything. It just quietly looks. It's not dead. It's not lazy, but it's just observing. And in its view is the first bird and all the first bird activity. But it sees the first bird and its activity. It sees its dreams also. It sees the wind, feels the rain, and feels the sun. It sees all things, but it just quietly looks. And this second bird represents also a power we have within ourselves to observe, just quietly observing. Even while our actions, our first bird actions are happening, the observing is still just still in us. Can you relate to this example? Yeah, it's very important. You know? So we speak about our activities in life, whatever. I am not speaking against or judging, I'm just pointing out that part of our existence, which is our dynamic, practical living, our, sort of what you may call our ideals, attaining our ideals, our dreams, to try and do that. I call the first bird building, having family. Second bird position, more still, more just observing, isn't it? Quite looking. Then I say this is not trying to achieve anything, it's just quietly present there. So I'm saying actually this second bird is in the heart of the first bird. Can I say it like this? Yeah. So that's the tree of life. The second bird is in the heart of the first bird. It's quietly there. So even though first bird activity happening, second bird position is just that presence inside. That's just observing. Now, first bird may not even be aware of second bird activity or second bird presence. You follow what I'm saying? Maybe for most of first bird's life, it's just first bird's dream and activity, doing. And somehow, maybe in first bird life, he became aware of second bird position in himself. The second bird doesn't go, stop your activity now that you find first bird. The activities have to go on. Some of the activities of first bird was just the general activity of the cosmos. That is just activity of the universe, wants to express this. But it got mixed in with first bird's capacity to imagine also and to want to fulfill its own personal projections, got mixed in the action also. Can you relate to this? Yes. But all of this is in second bird's view. First bird position may become aware that they might have heard about there's a second bird in the tree. Really? I don't know about no second bird in the tree. I alone am in this tree. But gradually became aware that the second bird is not different from me. Then gradually, actually, second bird is very important. then second bird is actually more than me, because all my first bird activity, what have I got to show for them? Okay, I've got a yellow Lamborghini. Okay, fine, fine. But the second bird has nothing, but I'm happy. I'm discovering my second bird nature. Okay? That second bird's pulsation is the vibration I am. He just knows I am. That is the name of everybody. Before you was given first bird name, you had I am. I am is your name. I am represents your being. Is the vibration, is the voice of consciousness. I, consciousness, am. I exist. Okay? And this second bird also is the weakness, you can say. It is the godly principle inside the body. This second bird's activities, if you want to say, or he knows the activities which are universal, meaning that it is like the God's will action, and there's the my will action. Okay? You've seen that. The more you become aware of second bird, your my ego will is coming more into the my God's will. And there's a lovely balance. The life feels very beautiful like that. Now, is there a time and a place where even second bird is also perceived? Remember, first bird for a long time did not know that there's second bird. Then he began to recognize second bird is actually here also in the tree of life. Okay? So somehow when it recognizes second bird position, it felt much more vast also, because the second bird has a vastness inside. The first bird has a vastness outside. The second bird has a vastness inside and outside. Actually, is inside incorporate the outside as well. You're following this thing? Then there's a certain point when we discover our second bird position, we are already feeling happiness. We're already feeling wholesome. We have a wish if we could only be fully second bird, knowing that the first bird's activity now is in service to the universe, but takes care also of the local life. It feels very happy. And it sometimes just wants this life just to continue in second bird vibration. Nice. I have spiritual friends and family. Now, somehow the universe helps me sometimes when no one is around to help me. Help comes from unseen, unexpected quarters. I find that things come. The universe is indeed taking care of my life. We are feeling like that. And many people are content. But there are some who continue to observe and find that somehow it's creeping in that even second bird is witnessable also. Now, second bird is witnessable as as the, what you may say, as the witness, the vibration of existence, is there. But there's something that is beyond readable. It has no quality, beyond attributes even. Okay. Now, does it mean that because second bird is also seen, the quality of the witness? I sometimes call this witnessing the child of the absolute, the lens of the absolute. It is not different from, it's the dynamic aspect of the absoluteness. It can be seen like it's other, but it is one. Just like, it's like when you were a child, a baby in the womb of your mother, there was some umbilical cord that connects to the mother. No? So the food you eat come from mother. In a way, we, even though we are adults, so to speak, we have an invisible umbilical cord to God. But it's no distance. For a while, we are like the dynamic fetus, but also we share the intelligence of the Supreme. At a certain point, you come to realize there's just a oneness, there's a harmony there. For as long as the body is there also, we experience like there's a harmony. But at some point, you may also feel like there is no other at all. In the dynamic world that is perceived is not other than myself also. But you cannot just solve that intellectually. It gets resolved in your deeper as you sit. If your meditation, if your contemplation is about this, is resting inside the essence, these knowledge gets released in you like waves of illumination come into the dynamic mind and you come to know. As long as the body is here, you experience your dynamic existence. When this body is not here, you experience your dynamic existence in all the bodies.
Thank you for those words.
Yeah.
It feels to say that I won't be waiting for this, but I'll just keep being in satsang, looking with you,
Yeah.
and trust that in the right timing, this will be seen and confirmed.
Yeah.
The only way it can be,
Yeah.
because, like
Yeah.
you say, the mind can't try and work it out.
Yeah.
Or
It is still the self, the complete, is also complete now. It is there, but that plus some ideas we have about ourselves is still somehow, just like little orbs floating around in our infiniteness. And there's something, yes, when I eventually come, yes, because God keep it that way for now. And gradually, that also everything is slowly merging. The dynamic and the non-dynamic. But in the absolute, merging and non-merging don't mean nothing at all. The absolute is always absolute. It's the all-encompassing, all-inclusive. Even to say it's all-encompassing is secondary. Because all-encompassing is like a happening, and it is beyond happening. We perceive happening because we're with a dynamic faculty. But in our non-dynamic, there's only the one. Even it doesn't have to know about one or oneness. But because we know two-ness, we can't imagine what it's like to be oneness. Now, are my words unreachable for you? No. Just like as I'm speaking here, no? Inside my being, I'm doing nothing at all. Another way of saying, I'm doing nothing at all. Yet I'm aware of activity, dynamic activity. I'm sitting here and I can see each one of you very distinctly. I can have this sensation and the words also as they're coming. I only know them because of their vibration. They're just coming out of the vibration. You see, they're not sort of like, I'm going to say this word. Sometimes, what's the right word and this, but they're coming more out of a kind of a harmony field. They're coming.
it's happening just like you say, that there's just this sense of, it's like the doer is being absorbed, and there's this realization that it's only the one doing everything.
Yes. So the individual sense of doership is merging in the universal doer. All the actions that you're coming to see, all the actions are actions of the oneness. You see, why? Because the ego feeling is subsiding in you. And when it's subsiding, it's just merging in the oneness. So your actions are oneness. I got to keep checking in with you, though. Are we on the same page? And yes, okay, good.
And just thank you so much for this time, so precious to be here in Monte
Yeah.
Sahaja. And I just have to also say thank you for the Lisbon retreat, because I was able to go and sit with you. And it's just, yeah, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you for your
Thank you. You know, it's amazing because in Lisbon retreat, I'm told like over more than a third of the people were new for satsang, at least in the physical satsang. And what is amazing for me is then that in such a mix, you know, that I was still able to go within 4 days to speak with you about the highest truth. And this is something that's very beautiful. I didn't take, okay, you're coming to university, you have to spend, 3 years, studying. And then after that, you have to go for field work. You have to leave from here. Now you have to go and try for practical application. No, all in one I'm doing. I'm not saying we have solved it, but something could listen. Maybe not everyone. Maybe there's still many people who like, I don't quite get it. And that's fine. Because I want to tell you that in satsang is not just the words that are doing it. It's the spirit that is doing it. It is the grace that is doing it. And it's entering not just through your ears, but through the very pores of your being. It's coming in. That you just somehow just come to understand. You don't know how. We put tremendous attention and importance on words and the mind. And they're important. They're one of the main arteries of communication. But just by sitting and being here also in an agreeable state, meaning that although there may be some little pockets of resistance going, but something chooses to stay, then in that field, you're being nurtured. The one who understands is absorbing influence from, and not just willy-nilly any kind of stuff coming in. No, this is like, it's like, a purification system where water goes in, gray water goes in at the top and goes through these different layers of stone and mud and gravel and sand and comes out drinking water. The same water have been purified, filtrated through life and through understanding and comes out drinking water. So the drinking water was in the polluted water also. But the polluted water means we could not enjoy. It would be poisonous, toxic. It goes through this filtration, it comes out drinking water. A little metaphor.
Guruji, I was meant to leave today. I'm going back to the UK for 3 weeks to be with my family. So wish me luck there.
No, I wish you luck. Full blessing.
Yes,
Full blessing.
just a joke.
Full blessing for them also. Full blessing for them also. It's true.
Yeah.
Full blessing for them. Even if sometimes people go from here and they feel, oh, I'm going back into this, like it's a little bit, to go back, and maybe for the first, sometimes we go 1-2 days, we feel, oh, am I in the right place? Oh my God, But gradually you see how grace, is seeping through. It's very, very beautiful. You cannot go anywhere, even if they curse you, you still bless them. Even if you have to leave town, you still bless them. You can't help it, you see. Even if your mind can't bless them, somehow your presence is going to bless them. Wherever you go, right there, a garden will grow there. The one has found you, and it's purified mind, so that the mind can join, not to kick it out, because mind also come from here. He had a game to play. In the manifestation, Mine was given, you have a role to play. And he does it very well. And you also had a role to play to take on the mask of personhood and to see how long you could live in personhood before you had to dive deeper and find your divine power again, to wake up back to yourself. So it has to have some, you are not the best assessor of how well you have done. You see? You sometimes only learn that you moved on from something when it represents itself and you see that that reaction, the old reaction is not there anymore. Sometimes you cannot know. Just like you don't know how much. You see a child, I don't see them for 6 months, I see how much they've grown, but they don't feel they're growing. You see? So others will notice. And some may be attracted, some may be not attracted. Like, whoa, the mind comes up in them. And they say, oh, she's a bit strange. Don't worry if the world thinks you're strange initially. Can't help it, you see. Sometimes people have come and they say to you, they're looking and say, I say, why, you okay? He says, yeah. I say, I've never seen anybody so still. Only dead people. But you are definitely not dead. You're and somebody's attracted, It communicates. You didn't use words. They communicate. And how is possible? You do meditation or something? Sometimes we're walking. We go maybe to London. We go to market. Because we love car boots, marketplace. And so often people come and they're asking the different, a few of us walking, what is it with you guys? What's going on with you? And sometimes they don't say right. They're hiding also. I said, no, you can tell them. Don't tell them, you're children of Power Brahman. Don't talk like that. You just God, Jesus. But you can just say that, we are, a spiritual community. We are here. And they may give them a chance, You see, but because the people, they already sense. And when you say, actually, we are like, you could say a spiritual community. You can even say, it's meditation, because that's easy word, getaway word. We do meditation. Don't tell them we're in self-inquiry. No, don't do this type of stuff. We listen to the invitation. No, you just say, we do some meditation, because most people also, you meditate. Oh, yeah, I thought so. Yeah, there's something different about you, lot. So, yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah, okay, good. Some vibration is picked up, because there's something that's not a common feature there. It's a quality of peace, even though you're walking. People, they're feeling the vibration from you. And sometimes the people who find it more difficult to accept it at first are the people who think they know you. I say think they know you, because everybody only thinks they know you. Your family think they have a right to know you, okay? But actually you find that somehow it's okay, and you understand this. You're not going to try and correct them. No, just be yourself. And don't get into any philosophical debate with anybody. Just go make cups of tea, enjoy, go out, take the children out and do things just like anybody. You probably find they're still watching you. You're having a cup of tea there, but then somebody's watching you. Trying to find out what's going on. But you are just going to be just fine. I'm happy when anybody is leaving, because I feel that some light goes out also. And so it should be also. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, my love. Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful, my love. Thank you, my darling. Thank you. So good. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, love you. We will miss you, but we still love that you go and that you have time with your family. And very nice.
Leaving but not leaving.
Leaving but not leaving, you see. Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, my love. I know that I have not really spoken with many people, but I feel it is okay with you because, as I said, I'm not speaking with a person. I'm conversing with presence, as presence, about presence. You see? So there's a universality about that. It means that someone once says, this man said, I may not like everybody, but I am like everybody. I felt there was something very broad about that. When we can listen inside as consciousness, then doesn't matter, how broad we're talking this person. Your being is nurtured by it. You can relate from your own, because we are all inside each other, actually. You may find that some things relate to you more because right now they're very, very important, that aspect is, some light goes on that. But we can always be learning. Don't choose who you should learn from. Then learn from everything. And what I say to those at Monte Sahaja, I say to you, live as though you have no rights. I cannot say that too publicly because there are many people go, oh, you trying to take away people's rights, and this kind of mind. Okay? Those elevated beings know what I'm speaking because they know the pricelessness of it in application. They don't assume, assume things. They simply, so everything that comes, you have an appreciation for it. You are without this feeling of entitlement, which sometimes come with some arrogance and ego. So something just quietly knows that everything you have found yourself, everything else is a bonus inside the self. You see? So this is why it's so beautiful. Why so many people from all around the world come? Because it's not tribalistic. It's not, my talk is not Western. It's not even Eastern. Yeah? It's just about the self, the universal one. And so everyone can relate to it. Not everyone all at once, but everyone somehow are able to listen to it. We can leave out the spiritually charged words that people hear. You can still listen to it and understand. Just like a mirror. Doesn't matter which country you buy a mirror, it still only gives you the same reflection. It's not like Russian mirrors come with some vodka influence or something, and China, it's the same. Wherever you go, whatever mirror you look in, you're going to find a perfect reflection of your face. So is a universal truth. Wherever you go, you can speak it. That is the one language, actually. Everything else are translations of this language of consciousness. And there's nothing more than just sitting right with yourself. That is your wealth, and that is your light also. And that light goes everywhere in the world. Meaning wherever this body is, that light is there. And it's in every human being. This intuition is there. We may try everything to try and make it to limit it to logic, but we are feeling beings. And we can experience because the seed of consciousness is in you. So we know something is inside that knows this one is something is in this one. And it's like your being responds to it. Your mind cannot, the mind may come in these times and try to distract you, but something is there, something universal, and there's something in every one of us that can respond to the universe. Before you are an English person or American person, you're universal. We are the universal that became localized, but only for a time and only through dream. When we are discovering this universal love, this love is for the whole world. Just like when the sun is shining, it doesn't say, oh, I really like the Swiss. I love Swiss flowers. I'll shine more strongly here. No, everywhere he shines. Everywhere. He doesn't choose. He shines even on poo. It doesn't matter. Everything gets sunlight. In the same way, your being is universal. That's really generosity, you see. That's what comes from God. It comes from God, the source, and it flows to God, the manifestation. Just take a moment just to render your understanding. What we truly discover, what we truly find and recognize, must not remain as words or concepts within us, but they must combust into spirit. If you experience that, it's very difficult to really absorb what you have heard and what you are feeling, don't worry. It's quite normal and natural in the initial stages that we will feel this kind of duality and some turbulence that comes from, like, the mind is saying, I don't understand. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Just like a child comes into this world without understanding anything at all. But with love and care, understanding happens in them. You may not understand the words or what I am pointing to fully, but listen to your heart. Is your heart happy to be here? And if it is happy to be here, it will nurture you. So at the end of satsangs, you should be empty. And with this emptiness, you'll find that if there are things to be done, they get done. Sometimes they get done, you don't even know how. But your actions flow with more grace, and so you're not strained and not tense like this. And always, gradually, everything that happens in life seems to be taking place in this immensity. And they don't have to leave any trace, like I say the words writing on water. You see, you cannot read it later. Everything is fresh. And yet it's pointing to the freshness of consciousness. And this is the changing over. I say sometimes the transition from manual to automatic. And some people can apply that to this metaphor to cars. From manual to automatic here means from using your mind to try and solve your life to dissolving your mind into your heart and being one with the flow of the universal consciousness, and at the same time discovering your stillness, that tranquility, that unchanging happiness, that infinite timelessness. Yes, it may take time somehow to stabilize in the timeless, to really come to see from that place. You are becoming indescribable again. Indefinable. There will come a time when you will know profoundly that your being is imperishable. Just like our personalities pass away, your sense of personhood will pass away. Your personalities, the different ideas we've had, pass away, but you still are. One day, your ego identity will pass away, and you see that you still are. Body also will pass away. You still are. Don't trust so much in mental knowledge. However vast our knowledge is on this planet, we are still in kindergarten in terms of the mysteries of the universe. And even that is far too big a compliment. But with your heart, you can meet and know God. With the mind, not really. We can only have concepts about. But in your heart and with your heart mind, you can find and discover. You can again be in the very heart and the soul and the source of this universe.